Hello everybody, my name is Noah Taff, and welcome to my review of WrestleMania 36 both nights. This was, without a doubt, the weirdest WrestleMania of all time, probably the weirdest event WWE has ever put on, and they somehow, against all odds, against everybody on the internet a week before it's happening, saying that it shouldn't happen, saying it's going to be the worst WrestleMania of all time, they somehow pulled it off. Don't know how they did it, but they did. So let's get into what happened. So, 18 matches across both nights, 9 on each show. We'll start with night 1 first. The pre-show match was Cesaro and Drew Gulak. At least they got on the card. They didn't get much time, 4 minutes and 25 seconds. They did some cool wrestling shit for the time they got. Cesaro ended up doing some kind of spinning airplane spin, and he just chucked him and then pinned him and won. So, Cesaro gets a win on Mania. Kinda. Depends on if you count the pre-show or not. I mean, the pre-show didn't used to count, but now that it's televised, does it count? I don't know. But Cesaro wins. Good for him. So, kicked off the main card, Alexa Bliss and Nikki Cross versus the Kabuki Warriors for the Women's Tag Team Championships. This got some time, actually, 15 minutes. And, oh my god, it's Asuka in an empty arena is just fantastic. She's so fucking funny. Like, she just yells the whole time. Just, her Japanese is just so aggressive that it's incredible to listen to. She's just got such an aggressive tone of Japanese. It's just incredible. It really is. And it was a pretty good match. I think not many people were talking much about this match, but I think it was a pretty solid opener. Bliss and Cross won, though. I don't know if that's a surprise or not. Bliss pinned Sane with Twisted Bliss. I'm not surprised that I missed the finish. That's why I was looking at it right then, because my network buffered at the time and I missed the fucking finish. But not surprised Kairi took the pin, because it seems like they still are protecting Asuka a little bit, even with this tag team. So Kairi's the expendable one. So Bliss and Cross get tag titles back, and tag titles go back to SmackDown. Interesting. Are the Iconics coming back? Are we getting another new tag team? Deville and Mandy just broke up. Who do they have to face? That's a problem with this women's tag team division. Who do they have to face? I don't know. Like, I legitimately don't know who they have to face. But good for Bliss and Cross, I guess. First two-time women's tag team champions. So up next, Elias versus King Corbin. This got 9 minutes exactly. They were teasing at first that Elias wasn't going to show up, and he did, and Corbin went to meet him, and Elias hit him with the guitar. Match went kind of back and forth. Elias ended up winning with a roll-up, though, and he grabbed the tights, so kind of dirty. But Elias beats Corbin. So King Corbin beats Kurt Angle in Kurt Angle's last match, huh? But loses to Elias next year? Okay, good for Elias, though. I love Elias, so fair enough. Up next, Becky Lynch versus Shayna Baszler, Raw Women's Championship. This got less time than the previous match. 8 minutes and 30 seconds, believe it or not. Here's what it consisted of. Shayna kicked her ass for most of it, and then got into Karafu to clutch, and then Becky did the Ember Moon finish and got her by the shoulders, and won. Becky retains. Shocked the hell out of me. This was one of those foregone conclusion results, at least I thought. I thought for sure Shayna was going over. I'm surprised at a couple things. One, I'm surprised at how little time this got. Again, only 8 minutes and 30 seconds. Got less time than Elias and Corbin. And a whole like 7 minutes less than the women's tag titles. And also Becky just won? I mean, okay. They were teased on Raw that the feud's going to continue, but like, this almost makes me think that either Shayna's just going to take it at Money in the Bank, and if so, why? Why couldn't she just win it here? Because did they want Becky's reign to reach a year? Maybe, I guess, because it has now. She's now been champion a year. Or this makes me think that Ronda's coming back, though. Right? I mean, if Shayna didn't beat her, then who the hell is going to be? It's got to be Becky's literally beating everybody, you know? Unless they just elevate Bianca Belair in the title picture because she has got called up. That seems like to me Ronda's coming back, right? I guess so. Up next, Sami Zayn versus Daniel Bryan for the Intercontinental Championship. This got a little bit more time, 9 minutes and 20 seconds. It was a weird match. It was an okay match. The first 2 minutes was just Sami doing the avoidance thing, and Bryan chasing him, but eventually they got it going a little bit. Sami didn't get much offense at all during the match. He maybe hit like 2 moves, and he won with a roll-up after distraction from Nakamura. So it was okay, though, but damn, I wish they had been given an opportunity to do more. This match was disappointing, but also a little bit surprised at the result of this. I thought Daniel was taking the title, but no, Sami retains. But I'm guessing this will continue, and I have no problem with that. Hopefully they'll get to have a real match at Money in the Bank, or whatever. Up next, something weird, but something that ended up awesome. John Morrison defends the tag team titles by himself against Jimmy Uso and Kofi Kingston. So I guess The Miz got sick. I don't know if he has corona. That's not confirmed, but apparently he got sick. So he pulled out. So they decided to do a triple threat singles ladder match for tag titles. Morrison versus Jimmy Uso versus Kofi Kingston. And this is where the show really started to pick up with this match. The show started rolling from this point onwards. This really is what gave night one its momentum. Because everything before that was like, it's all right. But this is where it started to pick up. This got 18 minutes and 30 seconds. It was the longest match of the night to take place inside the Performance Center. And man, it was great. I mean, it's pretty much what you expect. You take an Uso, you take John Morrison, you take Kofi Kingston, you give him a ladder. What do you expect? That's exactly what you expect. It was fucking great. Some of Uso's trash talk during the match was fantastic, and I think that's a big advantage of this whole empty arena thing, is you can hear a lot of the trash talk. Kofi is great as usual. The finish was creative too, because Uso and Kofi both tried to pull down the titles, but they dropped them and they fell onto Morrison. I've seen that finish before, but not in a while. So Morrison retains for his team, and that possibly keeps the feud going between the three of them. Great, fantastic match. It was just a great fucking ladder match. I mean, these are great ladder match wrestlers. Give them ladders. What do you expect? So fantastic, great job. Up next, speaking of the show picking up, Kevin Owens versus Seth Rollins. KO technically won this match twice because it was going all right, and then they battled the outside, and Rollins hit him with the ring bell and went to leave. And Owens ordered the match be restarted under no DQ rules. And this is where it started to pick up, because then they had no DQ stipulation, and Rollins was hit him with a chair a bunch of times, but then Owens used the ring bell himself and knocked Rollins out on top of the table. And the WrestleMania sign was directly behind the announce table. So Kevin gets his WrestleMania moment. He climbs on top of that fucking table, on top of that fucking sign, dives off through Rollins, through the table. Fucking awesome spot. He said on Twitter he wanted to dive off the pirate ship in Raymond James Stadium had they actually been in Tampa. That would have been cool. It's rumored that Tampa's going to get WrestleMania 38, by the way, because 37 is going to be in LA. But because they got screwed out of this Mania, they'll probably get WrestleMania 38, which, they deserve it. They got screwed. Nobody could have, this is unprecedented situation. So they definitely deserve to get it. And then Kevin put him back in the ring, hit the stunner, and Kevin Owens beat Seth Rollins at WrestleMania. Seth lost at Mania, and Kevin got his moment. Thank God for that. Kevin definitely needed to win this feud, I think. Where does this go from here? Don't know. I kind of think the feud should be over. I mean, it was a satisfying ending, and the feud went 5 months. It wasn't a bad 5-month feud. I think it was a good one, especially compared to that other 5-month feud with Roman and Corbin. But I think that this, WrestleMania is supposed to be a feud-ending show, so this should end here. I think this should be the end of that. So good for Kevin, though. Good for Kevin. Where does he go from here? Don't know. Same with Rollins. Rollins could actually go maybe to McIntyre, I think, to be honest, even though he lost. Up next, Braun Strowman versus Goldberg for the Universal title. So this was supposed to be Roman Reigns versus Goldberg. Roman pulled out because, he's had leukemia, and this coronavirus attacks people with weak immune systems, so good decision by him. Anybody criticizing him for this, go fuck yourself. It was absolutely smart decision by him. Definitely the right thing to do for both his health and his family and everybody. Smart decision by him. I respect the hell of him. So Strowman goes from not being on the card to wrestling Goldberg, and it worked out pretty well for him. Here's a summary of the match. Goldberg hit 3 spears. Strowman kicked out. Goldberg hit a 4th spear. Went for jackhammer. Running power slam, power slam, power slam, running power slam. Strowman wins. So just like that, Braun Strowman goes from not being on the card to being the Universal Champion. That is a pretty good turnaround, I'd say. Pretty good turnaround for Brawny Boy Strowman. So yeah, he finally got his world title, like 2 years late after they killed all his momentum, but still got it. Braun Strowman is Universal Champion. Good for him. When will we see Goldberg again? Maybe never? I don't know, probably will. That'd be funny if this was Goldberg's last match, huh? Nah, but probably, I have a feeling they want to do that Goldberg-Roman match at some point. So I imagine we'll see that. Maybe at next Mania. Who knows? Unless they can get Dwayne down to face Roman. I mean, Rock Roman in LA. I could see it. Sounds good to me. So now we get to the main event. AJ Styles versus The Undertaker in a Boneyard match. AJ Styles main evented WrestleMania. I don't care if it was night one. It still counts. It still counts. AJ Styles main evented WrestleMania. That's fucking awesome. How many main events is this for Taker? 5? Because he had the one with Sid, the one with Edge, the one with Roman, the one with Michaels, and this one? So, unless I'm missing one, I think that's it, huh? 5? Yeah, I think he's main evented 5 Manias. So this was tremendous. It took place in an actual graveyard, in random location. Taker came out as the American Badass. He was a full American Badass, big evil type gimmick. He came out, his theme music was Now That We're Dead by Metallica. And it was just fantastic. They just fought around the whole graveyard with Taker talking shit the entire time. OC and a bunch of druids tried to get involved, and then Taker took them out, and Styles speared Taker through some kind of platform thing, or some kind of standing thing, and then tried to drag him to the grave and put him in there, and he was going to bury him, and all of a sudden lights go up and Taker's teleports behind him. And it was so fucking good. And Taker starts kicking his ass, and they go up on top of this giant platform thing. Gallows and Anderson follow him, and Taker fucking kills both of them. He choke slams AJ off the fucking thing. He drags him over the grave, and AJ's like, "No, don't bury me." He's like, "I'm not gonna bury you," and he fucking kicks him in there, buries him anyway. And he fucking does the fist thing, and fucking fire comes out of nowhere, and his symbol shows up on the structure. It was so, and AJ's hand was sticking out from the dirt. It was so good. It was so fucking good. I loved it so much. I haven't watched it back yet. I watched the Funhouse match we're about to get to. I've watched that back, but oh my god, it was so good. This was the longest match of the night, 19 minutes. There was not a match over 20 minutes tonight. That'll change on night 2. But it was so good. It was so good. And kudos to both men. Absolutely fantastic. Absolutely fantastic. It was just, I didn't know what the hell it was going to be, but man, it was good. Absolutely loved it. So, night 1 started a little slow. The last couple matches, though, really made it successful, I think. So now night 2. Pre-show match was Liv Morgan versus Natalya. Don't know what happened to Ruby Riott. She get hurt again? I don't know, but should have been that. Liv won, though, with a roll-up, I think, if she reverses Sharpshooter or something. Natty played a heel for this one, even though I'm not sure she's heel or not. But Liv wins. Good for her. Really nothing to say about this, other than Liv wins. Good for her. Liv then lost to Asuka the next night, so. But she probably should lose to Asuka. Okay, first match. Charlotte Flair versus Rhea Ripley, NXT Women's Championship. This got 20 minutes and 30 seconds. For reference, again, Becky and Shayna got 8.5 minutes. This got 20.5 minutes. I don't know why. I still don't know why the fuck Becky and Shayna barely got any time. They didn't give them nothing. They gave this 20 minutes, and it was great. Ripley almost beat her like 3 minutes into the match with the Riptide, and Charlotte barely kicked out. Charlotte at one point fucked up her knee, and they started working that the whole match, and Ripley selling the knee injury. And eventually that came back to bite her, because even Ripley avoided the figure 4 multiple times, but finally Charlotte got it in, then the figure 8, and Ripley tapped, and Charlotte wins. I don't want to hear anyone say Ripley got buried. This was a fantastic match. It was a 20-minute match. She looked fucking great in it. But Charlotte goes over. I think Charlotte will be good for EO, I almost said EO because I was jumping ahead there. Will be good for NXT because her versus EO, holy shit. NXT basically traded Shayna Baszler and Bianca Belair for Charlotte Flair. So, fair enough. I was a little bit surprised, but also not really surprised. But it came out yesterday that Rhea's visa expired, and she has to go back to Australia. And they're taping a lot of programming coming up. So nobody knows when she's going to be able to come back because of this whole pandemic. So she could be gone a bit. So that actually makes sense. I don't know if that was the reason for the booking decision, but it may well have been, because Rhea's going to be gone a bit, you know, and there needs to be a champion, because they're doing his number one contenders ladder match on NXT, I think, this Wednesday. Tomorrow. Or is that today? Is today Wednesday? Yeah, today's Wednesday. Today. So yeah, I mean, I that makes a lot more sense. So we'll see how it goes going forward. I don't know if Charlotte's going to be solely on NXT or still be on Raw. I don't know. We'll see. So up next, randomest match of the whole 2 nights, Aleister Black versus Bobby Lashley. Why? I don't know. Here's a summary. Black dominated the first 3 minutes. Lashley dominated the next 4. Lashley was going for the Dominator, and then Lana, who's fucking dumb, just goes, "No, spear him, spear him." So Lashley's like, "Okay, I'll spear him." And then he goes to spear him and gets caught in a black mass, and Black wins. Good. I mean, in terms of physique, people be like, "Oh, why is Bobby Lashley losing to Aleister Black?" Think of it in terms of booking. Bobby Lashley's a fucking jobber now. If you don't want to say it, I will. Dude lost clean to Ricochet 2 months ago. Aleister Black has been in the WWE for 3 years, and he's lost 1 clean match in 3 years. So, yeah. Aleister Black, under no circumstance, should have lost this match. So, good. Up next, this is where this card... Actually, the card... No, I'm saying this card picked up with the first match, but this is where it's starting to keep going. Otis versus Dolph Ziggler. So... Ziggler controlled a good portion of it. Sonya was at ringside with Ziggler. It's got 8 minutes and 15 seconds, more of an Aleister and Lashley. So it was revealed on SmackDown that Ziggler and Sonya conspired against Otis and fucked him out of his date with Mandy. Mandy caught wind of that. Towards the end of the match, Ziggler was going for the zigzag, I think. Mandy came out, just straight up bitch slapped Sonya. I was surprised to hell. I mean, I didn't expect her to just go right at her, but she did. And beat the fuck out of Sonya, kicked Dolph in the nuts, and Otis hit the Caterpillar. Otis won. Dolph Ziggler got his first singles match at WrestleMania. Didn't win, but at least he got one. Can you believe that? He's never had a singles match at Mania. He has now, though. Otis wins, and then him and Mandy kissed after the match, and it was tremendous. So they're together now. I guess maybe she'll manage the heavy machinery, and I guess maybe it'll be Mandy. I bet you at TLC it's going to be Mandy and Heavy Machinery versus Sonya, Rude, and Ziggler. So this ought to be interesting going forward. This definitely is not over. The storyline's still evolving, and I absolutely love it. So I'm good with that. Up next was the second longest match in the history of WrestleMania. Yes, you heard me correctly. The second longest match in the history of WrestleMania. Edge in his first singles match in 9 years versus Randy Orton in a last man standing match. 36 minutes and 35 seconds. The only match in the history of WrestleMania to be longer than this was Shawn Michaels versus Bret Hart in an hour-long Iron Man match at WrestleMania 12. That was the only match longer than this, was Michaels versus Bret. Did this match need to be that long? No. Did I still enjoy it? Yes. Randy hit the RKO right off the bat when he disguised himself as a cameraman. Then they fought all throughout this bitch. Again, this match went a while. They went to the weight room. They went to random backstage area. They went to this fucking storage room. Edge hit an elbow drop for a table or some shit, whatever it was. Eventually, for all this, 36 minutes, all this, that's my big gripe with this match. This match should have been more like 25 minutes. It did not need to be this long, and yes, it did drag. I still thought it was good, especially for a storytelling ending. They ended up on this, production truck type thing on top of it, and Orton was going for the concerto, and Edge ended up spearing him, and then the ref started to count, and Edge said, "Don't you fucking count," to the ref, and then Edge set Randy up for concerto, and then he started crying, and then he hit the concerto, count of 10, Edge wins, and man, it was emotional, and man, did it drag, but man, was it great storytelling. It's funny, Dave Meltzer called it the most boring match in history of WrestleMania. If you take Dave Meltzer's opinion serious, I really feel bad for you. I really do. That dude's been a hack, but in his opinion, it doesn't really matter, but I don't think boring is the right word anyway. Did it drag? Yeah, but it was fantastic storytelling. It didn't need to be that long, but good for Edge, and I'm interested to see what he does next, because I imagine this is over. But yeah, great way to finish off a great feud. I think. So, up next, tag titles. Street Profits versus Angel Garza and Austin Theory. This got 6 minutes and 20 seconds. Supposed to be Angel Garza and Andrade. Andrade got hurt. Man, they just really refused to take that U.S. title off Andrade, huh? He got suspended 30 days, didn't take the title off him. Now he's hurt. Couldn't even defend at Mania. Still didn't take the title off him. He's still got that title, man. He's still the U.S. champion. If you're wondering where the fucking U.S. title is, he's still got it. He's still the champion. This got 6 minutes and 20 seconds. Street Profits won. And then afterwards, the heels did jump job. And then Bianca Belair came out and defended her husband and friend. Babyfaces fought them off. Bianca is now apparently officially called up. So they're going to do, this might be a three-way feud going forward. I don't know, or maybe just Belair and Vega. Be interesting to see what this goes. I don't know when Andrade's coming back. A lot of factors here. But up next, the Firefly Funhouse match. The Fiend Bray Wyatt versus John Cena. I have already watched this back. Holy fuck, it was like, I liked it more than the Boneyard match, personally, and I really liked the Boneyard match. It was unlike anything I've ever seen. 13 minutes is gone. So Wyatt teleported Cena into his world, right? And then first, it was for like a dream sequence of Cena's like inner demons. So first, they flash back to Cena's debut, but it was Cena's debut if he failed to make an impact, because Bray was just dodging all his shit. And then they did a Saturday Night's Main Event parody to mock Cena's bodybuilder past, and then Wyatt flashed back to WrestleMania 30 and the whole, the cult gimmick, and almost beat Cena using the cult gimmick, but decided not to do it. And then he gave Cena the chair, saying, do what you didn't do, because at WrestleMania 30, Wyatt wanted Cena to hit him to DQ himself, and Cena didn't do it. Cena swung, but Wyatt disappeared. And then, to solidify Cena giving into his demons, they had him appear as NWO Cena. I mean, he starts beating up Bray, but Bray wasn't there anymore, and he was really beating up Huskus the Pig to symbolize him beating up Husky Harris. And then Cena's like, what the fuck have I done? And then the Fiend was right behind him, hit Sister Abigail and a mandible claw. Normal Funhouse Bray counted the pin, and the Fiend wins. And John Cena disappeared because you can't see him. And holy shit. I don't know if in kayfabe Cena is stuck in Bray's world now, or I don't know, man. But wow, like it was what the Fiend should have done from the beginning. I can tell that Wyatt probably definitely wrote a lot of this. It wasn't even really a match. It was more of just us. It was just something, Cena got nothing the whole thing. He really put Bray over huge, just like I hoped he would. And man, it was just tremendous. If you haven't seen it, go watch it. It's absolutely fantastic. I might watch it again later. It's just one of the damnedest things I've ever seen. It was so great. So now we get to the main event. Drew McIntyre versus Brock Lesnar. WWE Championship. I almost said a Universal title because they had pretty much the same match that Goldberg-Strowman did, except Goldberg-Strowman got 210, this got 435. Brock attacked from the beginning, and then Drew hit a Claymore. Brock kicked out of the Claymore. I had told my sister this. I predicted it correctly. I said Drew's going to win, but Brock would kick out of the Claymore, and he did. Then Brock hit an F5. Drew kicked out at 1. Brock hit a second F5. Drew kicked out. Brock hit a third F5. Drew kicked out. Heyman's like, you can't keep kicking at him. Just keep doing it. Brock's like, okay, went for fourth F5. Gets Claymored. Gets Claymored again. Gets Claymored a fourth time. Cover. Drew McIntyre is the JDB champion. Thank God for that. I was really worried that they weren't going to do it, but at the same time, I wasn't worried at all. The only reason I was worried is because of the weird circumstances. But the rumor is Vince wanted mostly babyface wins, just, for it to be a feel-good show. And that's a good strategy, I think. So Drew McIntyre, JDB champion. Don't know what Lesnar does next, don't really care. Drew, either Rollins or AJ. AJ's kind of dead, though, so I don't know how long he'll be gone, but probably Rollins. Belt looks fantastic on him. Drew McIntyre Also, Drew McIntyre and AJ Styles both main evented WrestleManias this year. Now, for WrestleMania main event for Lesnar, how many is that for Brock? Let's see. He had the one with Angle and 2 with Roman. Is that it? Is that for Brock? 3 of them? And now this one, so 4? Is that it? 4 for Brock? Sounds about right. First one for Drew, obviously. Yeah, I really hope Drew gets a good long win with it. I don't even care if the match was shit. I just want Drew to win, and he did. So thank God for that. So, in conclusion, what night was better? Good question. Good question. Night 1 finished stronger, but night 2 had my favorite match, which was the Firefly Funhouse match. And even if you don't call that an actual match, I think Charlotte and Ripley was fantastic as well. Either way, they pulled this off, man. I don't know how they did it, but they did it. It was absolutely fantastic. They somehow pulled this off. WrestleMania is scheduled for next year, March 26th, I think, for Los Angeles, in that new stadium where the Chargers and the Rams are going to play, March 28th. Here's the thing, though. I think there is however, it's worth noting that the construction of the stadium may be delayed due to the pandemic. So even if we're allowed to have stadium shows by then, which I would hope we would, it's possible it may not happen in the stadium next year, and maybe MJ Stadium will get WrestleMania 37. But that would fuck with the NFL season too if it's not ready, huh? Here's the thing, man. I feel like they kind of have to keep this format going forward. This 2 days format. I think they need to keep this because, like, this was good. You know, they had 2 3.5-hour shows. And WrestleMania 35, I thought was really good. I love WrestleMania 35. WrestleMania 35 gets a bad rap from a lot of people because it was 7.5 hours. The main event literally didn't end until the next day. It ended like 12:30 in the morning on Monday. And the crowd was exhausted at that point. It was a 7-hour show. And while it was great, it gets bad rap because it's so fucking long. So if you want to do really long Manias, I think this needs to be the format going forward. Do 2 nights. This needs to be the normal thing for Mania. Do 2 night shows. But that's just my opinion. And hopefully that's what they do. Because I don't think after this they can go back to 1 night Mania. I think it needs to be 2 nights going forward. Absolutely. Oh wait, did I forget a match? I did forget a match. I'm sorry. I forgot the women's 5-way. It was Bayley defending the women's title against Lacey, Naomi, Sasha, and Tamina. Tamina got eliminated first by everybody after they all ganged up on her. Sasha made Naomi tap to the bank statement. They teased some tension between Bayley and Sasha after Bayley accidentally kneed her. And then Lacey hit a beautiful women's right. Sasha sold it like death and eliminated her. Bayley and Lacey got to work for about 6 minutes, and then Sasha interfered, and Bayley retains. Still teased some tension between Bayley and Sasha. Break's coming, but not now. Bayley's still champion for now. Did I do Bayley and Lacey again? I mean, Lacey should have won the title in the first feud, in my opinion, because she had crowd reaction, and the babyface turn went well. Her promos actually got better as a babyface, which is really rare. Usually people's promos people are better promos as heel, but she's actually a better promo as a babyface, which is weird. And she got crowd support, and then she just lost, and they took her off TV. So, yeah, I don't know about that. But at least she got to work a little bit here. But yeah, Bayley Sasha feud's coming. So, it's coming eventually. But that, ladies and gentlemen, is going to do it for my review of both nights of WrestleMania. Don't know how they pulled it off, but they pulled off a great show. Thank you guys for watching. If you want to follow any of my social media links, they're all down in the description down below. Thank you to all 37 of my patrons for your constant support of me and my channel. I appreciate you guys. My name is Noah Taft. This has been my look back, my review of WrestleMania 36. I'll see you guys next time. Bye.